College Corner.
We had so much momentum with college football, College Corner. When we've tried to get into the college basketball realm, it's been a little bit quieter start to the season. That changes tonight. I'm coming in with the utmost confidence for this card. 3 picks that are personal preferences of mine, that the model also shows either an edge, a sweet spot, or both. For we start with UCLA plus 5.5 against Purdue. Now, I do have to throw this caveat out there anytime I talk Purdue. I co-host a podcast with Purdue's best player. It's Braden Smith. I don't formally bet any Purdue games. I literally haven't this season, and it's one of my biggest sad parts of hosting a podcast with that player. However, I would look my co-host in the eyes and let him know that I think this is a really dangerous spot for Purdue for a variety of reasons. Number one, UCLA is at home with their back against the wall. They are undefeated at home this season. They are currently getting berated by their head coach, Mick Cronin, for just effort and lack of defensive intensity. Sounds an awful lot like last year, where at this exact same point in the season, UCLA was 2-4 in the Big Ten, 11-6 overall, had lost 4 consecutive games, and then in the middle of January had a home stretch where they played 5 of 7 games at home, where they're very good, won 7 straight games, and looked like a totally different team. This is the Mick Cronin formula. Look terrible on the road, be really hard to beat at home, reach your lowest point where he's calling out his own players' effort, and then respond to it at home and pick up some marquee victories. He does this every single year. I think that's where we're headed tonight, especially because there are some red flags going on with Purdue. They haven't played their best ball in 2 weeks. Actually, Bart Torvik has them as the 30th best team in the country over their last 4-game sample size. That's not the level they were playing at in the non-conference, and it's easy to see why. Trey Kaufman-Renn has been struggling on both ends, and Braden Smith is banged up. He got hurt in that win over USC, so I don't know what percent Braden's going to be at. Obviously, co-host, I'm rooting for you, buddy, but I think this is a really dangerous spot. I see UCLA plus 5.5 as one of the better sides to be on, and our model certainly agrees. Moving next to the Big 12, where we have Iowa State minus 13 at home against UCF. This is your typical throwback, bounce back spot of all spots. Iowa State was 0-2 last week after starting the year 16-0, but both those games were on the road. They lost to Kansas in blowout fashion. They let that hit them again on the road against Cincinnati. UCF is good. However, UCF just gave it their all against the best team in the country, Arizona, and I think they're going to be a little bit out of gas. It's a difficult ask to play the best team in the country and then go on the road to a pissed-off Iowa State team. This Iowa State team all season long has played like the second or third best team in the country. It was a blip on the radar that they didn't last week, and our model loves Iowa State minus 13.5 here as well. Finally, the third play of the night, it is St. John's at home, minus 10.5 against Seton Hall. I've been trying to bring people's attention to the fact that the Big East is going to yield some really misleading results, simply because when college basketball games are played between two teams, one team has to win. And that means if 2 bad teams play each other, sometimes bad teams end up looking good by beating other bad teams. That's what's going on in the Big East right now. The Big East has 2 teams that are legitimately quality basketball teams. It's UConn and St. John's. Outside of those 2, Villanova is the 27th best team in the country per KenPom. No other team in this conference is inside the top 50 nationally. So when Seton Hall gets off to a 14-2 start, that looks good until you realize they haven't beaten a top 50 opponent. It's entirely schedule dependent. And now here they go on the road against a St. John's team that is one of those 2 legitimately good teams, but especially for Seton Hall, coming off a week, they just lost 2 straight games at home. I think they're reeling a little bit. St. John's, you look through their most recent games, they've beaten up on quote-unquote bad teams. A 14-point win over Butler on the road, a 17-point win over Creighton on the road. Those teams are similar in caliber to Seton Hall. The difference, this game is at home, and St. John's is rolling. I like the Johnnies big in another blowout here. Added together, that's our full card. 3 teams at home that I think have schedule spots that really favor good performances here. It's UCLA, Iowa State, and St. John's.
Awesome stuff, Greg. Thank you as always. One of my favorite segments.
Let's get some wins, Dave. We need it.
Yeah, baby.
And reminder, if you like the College Corner, we do this every single week. We're going to have plenty more for you in college basketball as we get closer and closer to the NCAA tournament. If you don't mind, please give us a like, subscribe to the show so that you get alerts every single time we do College Corner. You got to get those alerts so that when you listen to this episode on a Tuesday afternoon, you might have just an hour until these games tip off. So make sure you get notified as quick as possible. Click subscribe to the podcast.